can I now ask Bev Knott to go through his? Yeah.
I'm not going to read out the whole of the statement. You've had it, I know. I want to start off by saying that we badly needed more primary places in the Bishopston area for ages, long since in fact. As a ward councillor, I've over the years frequently had parents coming to me saying there are no places, we have plenty of good local primary schools, but we can't get into them. They're full up already. Lucky the parents who can get there, but there are too many who have been unlucky and have had to go further afield. And not only that, but it's perfectly clear that the local authorities' projections strongly suggest that the need in this general area will increase. So we've got to do something. The current proposal to expand Sefton Park no doubt could provide economies of scale, advantages of organisation, educational provision that could enhance the education on offer. But, and you've heard plenty of buts already, and here's more of the same really, but I want to say it. The administration has produced no public case that I'm aware of that demonstrates that larger size correlates closely with improved attainment. I've seen stuff, in fact, which says, research, that is to say, which says that there is no clear correlation to be made. It's just not clear. And improved attainment is the prime driver for this review. And as has been said, this is an excellent school which already does very, very well by its pupils and in fact for the city as well. Nor is the reverse true, that the smaller size of itself means diminished attainment. That can't be shown either, necessarily. Also, the addition of accommodation for a third class of intake would make the use of this very limited site, as has been said, but needs to be said over and over again, very intensive. There is, as Cabinet will know, a statutory formula to ensure there is enough space for a school. The current proposal only meets this formula by including the Brunel site, which is off-site and some distance away. Therefore, the school community will necessarily spend all or most of its time on the present site, the present school site, which has been described by local authority officers, and by us too if it comes to that, but I quote the local authority officers as saying on Monday, I quote, congested, I quote, constricted, I quote, tight. There must be a question whether such a congested site can provide a good educational environment. The current proposal also requires Brunel site to be used as a playing field for the expanded Sefton Park school in order to satisfy the statutory formula for the school's area. This means that the Brunel site could not in future be used for a new school, as this administration once suggested might be a possibility if needed, which it may well be, which is a concern unless there is strong confidence that future increased need can be addressed locally given the lack of suitable sites. If it is still not clear that the Section 106 agreement allows the use of the Brunel site for playing field use only, this is a very serious concern and a question about the competence of the management of that side of things. It's been a long time to deal with it, has not yet been dealt with, it seems. Nor is it clear what arrangements there are even to manage this field at some distance from the school. And there must be questions about the usability of the field for PE and games, given its distance from the Sefton Park site along a very busy main road. I am also very concerned that nearly a year after the idea of expanding Sefton Park, that's what I understand to be the case now, most of us didn't know this was the case, there is no satisfactory solution for the Scout and Guide hut and site. This week it was said by an officer, I quote, "We may have to look at an alternative location," unquote. To be so cavalier and vague about this important and hugely used centre of activity for young people is not at all good. I don't know when it was discovered that the planners were unhappy at the idea of demolishing the youth centre building, but it certainly makes the whole project much more complicated if the building does have to be retained. Plans we were shown this week show that the building does not fit at all well with the new build proposed, and its interior will not lend itself to effective use. It throws out the good use of an already cramped site. It has taken far too long to provide extra primary places for the families that need them in this area. We have, in fact, had a decision to cope with this in 2006 to build a small school, as people seem to want, on the Brunel site. Ideology, it appears, tells us that small is bad and big is good. But the big that is proposed for Sefton Park is so, surely you can see, fraught with problems that the local families will now have to wait until 2010 instead of 2009. Even that date must be questionable, or even whether it is practical at all for providing a good education on such a congested site. In any case, the local community, and I wrote this before I heard the statements here, or didn't actually got round to reading them, in any case, the local community has made it clear it does not want this scheme. You already have an agreed scheme, agreed 2 years ago for the Brunel site. It has human size the local people feel is appropriate for the education of their children, and could be providing those places by this time next year. I have every confidence that whatever the ideology, such a school would provide a good education and would provide good entertainment. Good entertainment maybe as well, but good level of attainment.